Hey everyone, today I want to go over three serving formations that I like to use in doubles, and I'll go over some tips that we can use for each one of the formations. Now, you've probably heard of all of these before, but I'm going to kind of go through my mindset on each one of these, as well as kind of strategies I like to use at the net, and if I'm the serving player as well. This is the first edition of whiteboard tennis, is what I want to call it. I want to start doing a few of these each month, and my plan with this is to help doubles players become more effective through strategy and how they position themselves and move on the court and where they hit the ball, because we don't have a lot of time to go out there and practice 100 serves and practice 100 forehands and volleys and so on. So if we can use strategy like this and kind of almost classroom time, we can really improve our game without having to spend a dozen hours a week on the tennis court. So I hope you like this. I would love to hear your feedback after the lesson. So just let me know. So let's dive into this. Conventional. So this is the first serving formation. This is what almost everyone uses in doubles. The serving team I have here is the O's, and then the return team is the X's. We'll go over returning strategy in another lesson, but conventional is pretty simple. You have three choices at the net. You can either poach, you can pinch, or you can fake. The biggest mistakes people make here at the net is they hug the alley a little bit too much. So when you're poaching, you'll start center of the service box, maybe a little bit behind, and then come through here. And sometimes you'll leave early, sometimes you'll leave late, depending on the speed of the serve and the returner and how much you want to change it up. But one of the keys when you're poaching is you want to be moving forward. So we're moving kind of diagonally here towards the center of the net. Pinching is when we're not going, but we're looking to stay aggressive. So we're moving forward a little bit and looking to kind of pinch towards this center part of the net. We're always giving up a little bit of the alley, but not too much depending on your partner's serve and things like that. And then faking is when we fake the poach. So we'll leave a little bit early, and then we'll come back here, and a lot of times the returner will miss. Sometimes we can have a high volley on this side. So those are the three options at the net from conventional. For serving options, obviously we can go wide, we can go into the body, or we can go up the tee. Now you want to communicate, and this is important for all three of these, but you want to communicate what you're doing with your partner. So for example, if I'm serving wide and this person has a really good forehand, I might want my partner to fake or have a not a super aggressive pinch, because if they have a really good forehand and I don't hit a very good serve out here, then they might be able to get it up the line of my partner. But if I'm going up the tee, then my partner can be a lot more aggressive on the pinch or the poach, because this is a much tougher angle to go to the alley from there. So communicate with your partner, think about those different options, as well as the side you're serving on. This is the deuce side, but if we're going to the ad side, similar things apply. So next is the I formation, and one of the reasons I'm doing this lesson is because I played a match yesterday, and I've got a tournament this weekend, and I forgot to use these. I played conventional the whole time and completely forgot to change it up, and we were having trouble holding my partner's serve, and I think if we had done this, it would have helped us a lot. So I'm kind of reminding myself as well. So the I formation here, the I formation's a pretty unique one. We have a lot of choices at the net. Typically, the server will start a little bit closer to kind of the center here, and the player at the net will start a little bit left of center. You can change it up and adjust kind of to the right, straight in the middle, or a little to the left. And then as the net player, you want to communicate with your partner. This is super important with the I formation, because you can go left, in which case your partner, the server, has to cover the right side. You can go right, and your partner has to cover the opposite, obviously. A lot of times you can just stand straight up and you'll get a volley right there. Sometimes you can fake one way and go the other. Again, with all of these, you want to make sure you're starting about halfway between the service line and the net, so that you have the ability to to pop up and go forward so that you're moving forward on that volley. So if I'm faking, maybe I start right here and then I'll fake here and then close out here for the volley. And then serve options. So we can serve and stay back, or we can serve and volley. Typically you'll serve and stay back in this case. And what you want to do is, the majority of the time, I'd say probably 70, maybe 80% of the time, you want to play to your strength. So if I'm the server here and I'm serving to the deuce side, most of the time I'm going to have my partner go to the left because my forehand is better than my backhand. If I'm serving to the ad side, the opposite is, or I'll still have my partner go to the left so that I can cover the right side on my forehand side. So keep that in mind when you're serving and staying back in the I formation. Really, really important there. You can also keep in mind the strengths of the net player. You know, do they like to have a forehand or backhand volley, things like that. And then the last formation that isn't used as much, but it can be really effective to exploit weaknesses and hide weaknesses. It's called the Australian formation. So that's when the server and the server's partner start on the same side. So you can see serving to the deuce court here, but both, let's say myself and my partner are on the ad side. So this is a really good scenario if we want to hide the server's weakness. So if, for example, my backhand was better than my forehand, we might do this on the deuce side so that I have a backhand on the first shot after the serve. I like to actually run it on the ad side because my forehand is better than my backhand. So I like to get over here and hit a forehand instead, or if my partner has a better forehand, and so on. The other option, or the other benefit to the Australian formation is you can exploit the returner's weakness. So let's say they don't have a very good down the line backhand. We can serve up the tee to their backhand and make them try to pull it down the line, and maybe they miss a lot of them. Typically, I will run this formation to the ad side because we can serve it out wide to the backhand, and then they're hitting a true down the line backhand rather than kind of inside in here. But it's a really good opportunity to exploit the returner's weakness. And then you want to also play the net player's strengths. So if we're running it, I'm going to go ahead and erase these. If we're running it to the ad side, and let's say the returner's here and the returner's here, if we're running it to the ad side, I'm going to have a forehand on the first shot. If I serve out wide here, they're going to have a down the line backhand, which we know is a low percentage shot. And then my partner also, if they go cross court with the return, my partner has a forehand volley. So that's three different things that are all, the percentages go in our favor. So it's really, really effective to run on that ad side, especially if the server just isn't very confident in their backhand and they much prefer their forehand. So those are some tips for each of these three. One of the most important things you can do is just bear in mind that you want to change it up. If you're having trouble with conventional holding serve for you or your partner, you want to change it up and give the returners different looks, because you'll be able to force a lot of misses and play to some of your strengths. So again, let me know what you thought of the lesson. Let me know if this is helpful. Give me a comment below, and I will see you in the next one.